morning, everyone. I'm so happy you could join me this morning. It's a beautiful morning. It's a hot one, but it's beautiful, and hopefully you are all cool inside. So I'm really glad that you carved out the time for your yoga this morning, as the great wisdom of Maya Angelou once said, nothing will work unless you do. So we're going to make ourselves work and work to feel better in our minds and our bodies, to find that calm, that relaxation as we float through some poses today. So welcome to Gentle Yoga. So let's get in a comfortable seated position, whatever that means to you, and we're going to sit with a nice tall spine. I'm a little allergy stricken this morning, so excuse me if I have to catch my nose running. So, closing our eyes, sitting with a nice vertical spine, maybe have your hands on your knees, wherever it's comfortable for you, and let's draw the attention to the breath. And so when we do this, it's like an instant calming sensation. We feel the breath being drawn from the belly and coming on up through the chest and the thoracic cavity, through the throat, through the nose, and then take a long exhalation and feel your shoulders just melt away from your ears. It's the quickest way to relieve any kind of anxiety. If we just take a moment to breathe, we can melt all of that away. So gently open your eyes, and let's bring our middle two fingers to the temples. So bringing your fingers to the temples and just taking them in little tiny circles, massaging here. Very good for any kind of headache, from allergies, migraines. Just very gently in little circles. Breathing. And then let's take the shoulders up to the ears as you inhale and gently let them fall back behind you, keeping the spine nice and long. Inhale, take your shoulders up, roll them down your back. Good. Inhale up. Good morning. Rolling them down your back. Good. And take some good deep breaths here as we roll our shoulders. Good. And then let's drop the chin to the chest. And just as you inhale, take the head over to the left shoulder. Exhale, drop the chin back down to the chest. Inhale, roll on over to the right side. Exhale, chin to chest. Inhale, rolling over to the left. Exhale, chin to chest. Inhale, roll to the right. And do a couple more of these. Really feeling the opening of your cervical spine, which is your neck. Keeping that nice vertical spine. Good. And then let's draw the arms up as you inhale. And gently hinging from the waist, let's just float the arms over to the left. Inhale up. Exhale, float to the right. Inhale up. Exhale, float to the right. Inhale up. Exhale, float to the right. Inhale up. And now we're going to just let the arms float down to the center. Wherever it's comfortable for you. You can come down to your elbows, or if you want to come onto your fingertips, or if you'd like to come all the way down to your mat, really stretching out the lumbar spine. Take a few breaths here. And then gently walk the hands up towards your body, coming up slowly. Good. So let's extend our legs out into a nice V shape and give your legs a little shake. If you had them crisscross, they probably need a little stretch here, so good. So sitting in our nice V legs, let's bring that right foot into the left thigh. And as you inhale, draw the arms up. Turn, and we're hinging from the waist, coming down to your elbows, or if you want to go a little bit deeper, go for your foot. And we're going to hold here for a couple of breaths. Beautiful. Then walk the arms up the left leg. Good. So let's stretch out the right leg and bring that left foot into the right thigh. As you inhale, draw the arms up, turn and hinge from the waist, coming down to your elbow or towards your foot. Take a few breaths here. And then gently walk the hands up your right leg. Good. So extending the legs out into our V once again. As you inhale, draw the arms up. Float down to the left. Inhale, come up. Float down to your right. Inhale, come up. Float down towards your feet. Inhale, come up. Float down towards the center. Inhale, come up. Float down towards the left. Inhale, up. Float towards the right. Inhale, come up. Float down towards your feet. Inhale, come up. Float your arms down towards the center. Hold here for a couple breaths. Then gently walk your hands forward towards your body. And we're going to bring the soles of the feet together into our butterfly. So you can walk your hips up to your feet or walk your feet back to your hips. And just let your knees drop open and flutter like a butterfly. Keeping that spine nice and long. And breathe here. Good. Opening up those hip flexors. Getting everything loosey-goosey. Good. Good. Breathing. And then draw the feet up in front of you and guide the knees over from the left to the right to our windshield wipers. Swish, swish. Excuse me. Just let them float back and forth. Good. So now let's come into child's pose. So we're going to sit on our ankles and our knees are slightly spread apart. Coming down into child's pose, let your chest melt towards the mat. And your arms are resting alongside of you, palms facing up. Take a few breaths here. And really feel that nice, lovely stretch in the lumbar region. And then as you're ready, inhale, draw the arms up, coming up to your knees, pushing the hips forward. Exhale, come back down to child's pose. Inhale, rise. Exhale, release. Inhale, rise. Beautiful. Let your body float in space. Exhale, release. Inhale, floating up. Exhale, back down into child's pose. 2 more. Inhale, rise. Exhale, release. Last one. Inhale, rise. Exhale, release. And let's spread our toes up nice and wide. And sitting on the ankles, stretching out our toes, keeping a nice long spine. And let's draw the arms out in front of us. So taking the hands, it's flexing them up and down. Good. And then maybe floating the wrists in little circles. Rotating our wrists. And stretching the fingers out nice and wide. Ooh, stretch, stretch, stretch. Good, good, good. And then tightly clench your fists. Beautiful. Stretch them out nice and wide. Clench the fists. Stretch them out nice and wide. Good. Clench the fists. And then let your fingers flutter. Good. So now let's come off of our toes. And we're just going to sit on the ankles. And taking the hands behind us, the fingers are pointing towards our hips. And you can be right up here on your fingertips if that works for you. Rolling the shoulders back, or if you want to be flat on your hands, roll the shoulders back. The head is parallel to the mat. Nice big wide chest opener, lifting the heart, and breathe. Good. Beautiful. And then let's come into puppy dog. So we've got our hips and our knees lined up together. And we're walking our hands a little bit farther away from the body than we would in tabletop. So just let your chest kind of melt down towards the mat. And take a few breaths here in puppy dog. Resting on your elbows. And then as you're ready, inhale, float the body forward to wherever it's comfortable for you. Exhale, take the hips back towards the ankles. Inhale, float forward. You can be in tabletop or cobra or up dog. Exhale, floating back towards the ankles. Inhale, float forward. Shoulders are nice and soft. Your elbows are tucked into your rib cage. Exhale, back. Inhale, forward. Exhale, back. Inhale forward. Exhale back. 2 more. Inhale forward. Exhale coming back. Last one. Inhale forward. And let's hold it here for a couple of breaths. So elbows are tucked into the rib cage. Shoulders are soft. Breathing here, feeling your upper body strength work for you. Good. Then let's come into tabletop. So we've got the hands are closer under the shoulders. And we're going to take the right arm up. As you inhale, thread it through the left arm, coming down onto your right shoulder or your right elbow, whatever is comfortable for you, and breathe. Nice deep shoulder stretch here. And then release the right arm, come back into tabletop. As you inhale, take the left arm up, thread it through the right arm, come down on your elbow or down to your shoulder. Explore what feels good to you. And take a few breaths here. Beautiful. And then release the left arm. So let's scoot the left knee up. We're going to take that right leg back. Stretch it out. And you can be at the side like this if you prefer, if it's easier for you. Or you can come onto your left hip. You can stick a block under your left hip or a blanket. I'm going to rest here in pigeon pose. So taking a few deep breaths, stretching out that right leg, that right psoas muscle. Really feel it in your hip, in your glutes, hamstrings, quads, calves, ankles, and breathe. Beautiful. And then let's scoot the left knee back and bring the right knee forward. So stretching out that left leg, sitting on your right hip or sitting on a block, whatever works for you. I'm going to pause here and breathe and really stretch out that left psoas muscle now. So the shoulders are soft and we're just relaxing into this deep stretch. Stretching everything out, strengthening, lengthening, and breathing. Good. Good. And then let's bring both knees together into tabletop. So our fingers are nice and wide spread. Let's do some cat-cows. Oops, let me back up a little bit. There we go. So as you inhale, we're going to draw the navel to the spine, contracting the abs. Into cat. Exhale, release into cow. The head and the tailbone come up, stretching out the core. Inhale, rise. Really crunching the abs. Exhale, relax into cow. Inhale, coming up into cat. Exhale, release into cow. Inhale, up. Exhale, release. Good. Inhale, up. Exhale, release. Beautiful. Inhale, coming up. Exhale, release. One more. Inhale, come up. Exhale, release into cow. Good. So let's extend that right leg out. And it's parallel to the mat. Flexing the right foot. Stretching out once again that right psoas muscle. And then gently bend the knee. Inhale, take the knee up. Exhale, draw the knee into the chest. Inhale, out to the side. Exhale, back down to the mat. Good. So going over to the left side, extending that left leg out, flexing the left foot. Doesn't have to go up very high, just parallel to the mat. Lengthening and strengthening on that left side. And then gently bend the knee. Inhale, take the knee up. Exhale, draw the knee into the chest. Inhale, out to the side. Exhale, back down to the mat. Good. So let's come down onto our elbows. And stretching the legs out, we're coming into an elbow plank. So we don't want to drop the torso. We want to keep that fairly parallel to the mat. And really feel it tucking your toes. Really feeling this in your core. And take a few breaths here. Good. And then relax down the mat. Let your arms come down to the sides, palms facing up, and rest on one cheek. Take a few breaths here as we pause. And then as you're ready, inhale, bring the chest up only, rolling the shoulders back. Good. Just the chest. Breathing. Exhale, release. Inhale, let's bring the legs up only. Breathing. And release. And now as you inhale, let's bring the legs and the chest up together into full locust pose. And breathe. Good. And then rest on one cheek. And let your shoulders just float into the mat. And then bend the knees. You can just bend them to wherever it's comfortable for you. We're going to stretch out the hamstrings and the quads. So you may want to grab your ankles or not. And just feel a nice little stretch here. Breathing. And for those of you who'd like to come into full boat pose, inhale, bring the chest and the knees up. Good. Into boat or not. Exhale, release, and let's come into child's pose. So you can choose whichever way you'd like to be in child's pose. If you want your arms extended, or if you want them down to your sides with the palms facing up, it's up to you. Good, so as you're ready, let's come on down to our backs and stretch out. So we're going to keep our arms overhead, do our little taffy thing. Feel like that piece of taffy is being pulled from your hands, pulled from your feet. Stretching out, drawing your navel into your spine. Breathing into here, into this full body pose. Full body stretch. And then release the arms down to the sides. Just pose here for a breath or two. Check in with your body. See how everything is feeling? And then as you're ready, bring the legs up, keeping the pelvic floor on the mat. So placing the hands behind the calves, gently pressing the knees towards the body. Knees are bent. And feel this nice stretch in your hamstrings and quads and your calves. And then just let your feet come apart a little bit and rotate your ankles. So take them in little circles, maybe flex them up and down. Just giving them a little love. Big circles, little circles. And then take your hands into the insides of your thighs. We're just going to let the legs drop out to the sides and let them fall wherever they may. This nice stretch in the inner thighs and the hip flexors. And breathe. Good. And bring the legs back together. Bend the knees. We've got our feet flat on the mat. So our arms are at the sides. Hands are down, facing down on the mat. Or if you'd like to clasp your hands underneath, rolling the shoulders back as we prepare to come into bridge. So inhale, hips rise, nice firm knees, and breathe. Good, everybody. Beautiful bridges. And then gently release down to the mat. Pause for a couple breaths. We'll do that one more time. So as you're ready, either clasp your hands or not. Inhale, hips rise, knees are firm, and breathe. Exhale, release down to the mat. So let's draw the knees into the chest, give them a nice big hug. And then place your hands on your knees and take your knees into little circles or big circles, or take them side to side, massaging the lower lumbar region. So that's sacral spine. One of my favorite things. So now let's bring the soles of the feet together, grabbing your feet into a reverse butterfly kind of, and draw your feet towards your chest. So a nice big hip opener here. And breathe. And then place your feet on the mat with your knees bent. And we'll go back into our windshield wipers, just guiding the knees from left to right. Let them float back and forth. Good. Good. Good, so let's stretch the legs out now. And as you inhale, we're going to take the arms up. And come up as you inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, arms up. And exhale, we're going to come down one vertebra at a time. As slowly as you can. Good. Really make that core work for you. Let me scoot up a little bit. So let's take the arms up. Inhale, rise. Exhale, forward fold. Good. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, come down very slowly. One vertebra at a time. You got this. We'll do two more. So inhale, rise. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise. Exhale, coming down one vertebra at a time. Good. Last one. Inhale, rise. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise. Exhale, come on down one vertebra at a time. And then let your arms just rest at the sides. Pause for a couple of breaths. So then drawing the legs up, we're going to crisscross the ankles and bring yourself up and over your ankles into tabletop. Good. So here we are in tabletop. We're going to tuck the toes and get ready to come into our downward facing dog. So we've got our fingers nice and widespread. And as you inhale, drop the head between the shoulders. The hips come back. Walk your feet out a little bit if you'd like. Stretching the calves. And then walk the feet up towards the hands. And come into our chair pose. Good. So the knees and the toes are lined up. We're looking skyward. And then come back down to the mat. Our hands are framing our feet. So let's take that left foot back and come into a lunge. So our chest is resting on the right knee and we're lunging out that left leg. So take a nice deep breath down into that left side. Good. Beautiful. And then drop the left knee and let's stretch out the right calf. So you've got your knee bent and you've got your foot flexed. Take a few breaths here. And then let's come back, bring the right foot up to meet the left foot. And as you're ready, let's take that right leg back, resting your chest on your left knee. You can bring your right knee down if that's more comfortable or stretch it out long. Take a few breaths here. Really feel that deep stretch in your psoas muscle on the right side. So important to keep that lubricated. And then drop the right knee down and let's stretch out that left calf. Good. Good, good. And then let's bring both feet together and come up very slowly, one vertebra at a time, into a standing position. Don't come up too fast because we don't want anyone to get dizzy. So let's come into our little mountain pose. Our feet are hip-width apart. And we're just going to line everything up. So we've got our shoulders stacked up over our hips. Hips over knees, slightly bent knees. Knees over the ankles. Shoulders are soft. Face is soft. And just check in with your alignment here. You've got a vertical spine and a neutral pelvis. And just close your eyes And offer yourself some gratitude for your beautiful posture. And then inhale, take the arms up, slight little back bend. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, coming up into a halfway lift. Good. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale into a halfway lift. Exhale, come down into a chair. Lovely little squat. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, walk the arms up the legs, slowly coming up one vertebra at a time. Good. So let's come into, first of all, let's shake everything out. Just give everything a big shake. Arms, legs, big shake. Good. Whew. All right. So let's come into a nice wide stance. We've got our feet pointing out side to side laterally. And we've got our knees slightly bent, hands to heart center. So as you inhale, we're going to dip down and raise the arms up into a squat. Beautiful. And then exhale, come on up. Inhale, dipping down. Exhale, come up. Inhale, down. Good. Exhale, come up. See if you can get a little bit deeper into your squats. And maybe come down a little bit farther. Good. Coming back up. Do a couple more. Inhale up. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. Inhale up. Hold, hold, hold. Good. And then relax. So keeping in our wide stance, our hands are on our hips. We're just going to hinge forward from the waist and flop down into our ragdoll. Let your head just drop. Let your arms be flopsy-mopsy. Really stretching out the cervical spine, the neck. Might be bobbing your head up and down or side to side. Good. And just relax here for a couple of breaths. Knees are slightly bent. And then as you're ready, take your elbows in your hands. We're just going to rock from the left to the right. So bending the right knee, stretching out the left. Bending the left knee, stretching out the right. Good. Breathing. Good, good. As you're ready, walk your hands up your legs, come up very slowly, one vertebra at a time. Good. Good. Whew. Let's see. Let's do some balancing poses. So grounding that right foot in the mat, feeling the earth holding you up, feeling nice and supported. As you're ready, bring your hands to heart center and let's come into our tree pose, focusing on something in the room, a little dristy, and breathe. Good. And then gently release the left leg. So let's ground that left foot into the mat. Really feel it being supported. And then as you're ready, bring your hands to heart center and come on up into your tree pose. And breathe. it all out one more time. Good. So let's come into our warrior two. So we've got the left foot stretched out in front, straight, taking that right foot back into 90 degrees, and bending the left knee, squaring our hips off to the center. As you inhale, we're going to keep that front knee nice and firm. As you inhale, arms come up, looking over your left fingertips into your warrior two, and breathe. Nice, strong warriors we are. Beautiful. And then let the left elbow rest on the left knee. Bring the right arm up and over and breathe. Good. And then gently come up. Let that right arm slide down your right leg as the left arm comes up and you inhale. And then release the left arm and let's just pivot the feet. Whoop. So we've got this front leg now at the right knee, nice and firm. We don't want it to flop. No knee injuries allowed. So squaring the hips off to the center, keeping that front knee firm. As you're ready, inhale, bringing the arms up, looking over your right fingertips. Shoulders are nice and soft. And breathe. Beautiful. And gently drop the right elbow down to the right knee. The left arm comes up. Good, everybody. And then release the left arm. Let it slide down the left leg. Inhale, the right arm comes up. Exhale, release the left arm. Walking the feet a little bit closer in. We're going to do our joy breath and then we're ready for Shavasana. So the joy breath is all about happy, happy, smiley, smiley. I mean, when we do this in our classes, people actually get very giddy, and I'm one of them. So anyway, here we go. Up, out, up and through, up, out, and through, up, and through, up, and through, up, and through, up, and through. Beautiful. So let's come on down into a Shavasana position, reclining, restoring, renewing, resting the entire physiology. And I hope that you will stay in Shavasana after we adjourn. That's just as important as any pose, any other pose that we've done today. So you want to rest and just rejuvenate. So closing your eyes, coming into a quiet mind and a calm body, offering yourself some gratitude for your practice today. Good. And until we meet again, I will be at 50 Forward Donaldson Station tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock, Donaldson Pike and Lebanon Road. Thursday, I will be right back here in my little studio. So I will see you whenever. In the meantime, always think peaceful thoughts, speak kind words, and radiate as much love from your hearts as you possibly can. Namaste, my friends, sending you lots of love.